Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something we've all experienced, that gnawing feeling in your gut when you eat while you're angry or upset. It turns out there's a hidden battle happening inside you, a war you might not even know you're fighting.
I mean, we've all been there, right? That tight, uncomfortable knot you get during a tense meal. Well, that isn't just a vague feeling. It's a very real, very complex physiological alarm bell. It's a direct message from your gut to your brain that something is seriously wrong. So let's unpack what's actually going on in there.
To really get this, we first need to look at the two competing operating systems in your body. Think of them as two different modes that, and this is key, absolutely cannot run at the same time.
Okay, so on one side, you've got your parasympathetic system. This is your rest and digest mode. It's the chill, efficient state where your body's main job is absorbing nutrients. But on the other side, you've got the sympathetic system, the famous fight or flight response. When that thing kicks on, all non-essential systems, and that includes digestion, are shut down immediately to prep for danger. The crucial point here is your body cannot do both at once. When one is on, the other is completely off. It's a binary switch.
So when you get angry, your brain doesn't really know the difference between a stressful argument and a physical threat. It just perceives danger. And what does it do? It immediately flips that switch to fight or flight, flooding your system with stress hormones like adrenaline. In that moment, your body basically decides that digesting that salad is not nearly as important as surviving the perceived threat.
So what exactly is happening inside your stomach when your brain hits that big red panic button? Well, the reality is honestly a lot more dramatic than you might think.
Your gut is lined with what scientists literally call a second brain. It's this incredibly complex network of over 100 million neurons. It's so sophisticated it can manage the whole digestive process all by itself. But when you're angry, your main brain sends down a command that just overrides this entire system, effectively forcing a complete shutdown. Now check this out, because this is fascinating. There's some amazing historical evidence here. Researchers studying a patient who had a direct opening into his stomach could actually see what was happening. And when the patient got angry, his stomach lining didn't just go quiet, no. It became intensely red, it filled with blood, and it started pumping out huge amounts of stomach acid. And this right here perfectly illustrates the core problem. You get this perfect storm of damage. Your stomach is flooded with corrosive acid, but at the exact same time, the production of the protective mucus that normally lines your stomach gets reduced. The rhythmic muscle contractions just stop, and the essential enzymes you need to break down food, they aren't released. So the food just sits there in a highly acidic, totally unprotected environment. But this internal battle, it actually goes even deeper than just acid and muscles. It involves the trillions, and I mean trillions, of microorganisms living inside you. And as it turns out, they play a massive role in your emotional state. This might just shock you. About 95% of your body's serotonin, the happy chemical that regulates your mood, is produced in your gut, not your brain. And your gut bacteria are absolutely essential for that process. So here's the kicker. This relationship is a two-way street. It's not just that your anger messes with your gut. Research is showing that an unhealthy, unbalanced gut microbiome can actually lower your threshold for getting angry in the first place and even increase aggressive behavior. It's a classic and pretty nasty feedback loop.
So when this internal battle happens over and over again, the repeated stress on your system isn't just uncomfortable anymore. It can lead to some pretty serious, long-term health consequences.
One of the most concerning results is a condition people often call leaky gut. Basically, all that chronic stress and inflammation can weaken the connections between the cells lining your intestines. Think of it like the grout between tiles starting to crumble. This allows undigested food and bacteria to leak into your bloodstream, which then triggers a body-wide inflammatory response. And this is how that powerful, vicious cycle gets going. You have an emotional trigger, which causes gut disruption. Then, the physical symptoms from that disruption, we're talking bloating, pain, heartburn, that creates even more anxiety and stress, which in turn, you guessed it, makes the gut problems even worse. And when that cycle just keeps spinning, it becomes a major cause of chronic digestive issues like IBS and acid reflux. It also messes with your ability to absorb vital nutrients like magnesium, iron, and B12. It keeps your whole body in this constant low-grade state of inflammation and can even make autoimmune conditions flare up.
Okay, so that was all pretty grim. But here's the good news. As destructive as this cycle is, you absolutely have the power to break it, and it starts with a few simple, conscious actions. The most powerful step you can possibly take is the very first one, just becoming aware of the connection. Seriously.
Just recognizing the link between how you feel emotionally at mealtime and how your body feels afterward, that awareness is the first act of healing.
A really practical strategy is what I call the pre-meal pause. If you're angry, just wait. Give yourself 5 minutes. Find a quiet corner, maybe sip some water, and just breathe. And finally, try to ritualize your meals. That means putting the phone away, turning off the TV, and treating eating as its own important activity.
And if you need a specific technique, this one is incredibly effective. It's the 4-4-6 breathing method. You inhale for a count of 4, hold your breath for 4, and then, and this is the most important part, you exhale slowly for a count of 6. That long exhale is a direct signal to your nervous system to power down fight or flight and turn the rest and digest system back on.
So here's the final thought I want to leave you with. The next time you sit down to eat, ask yourself this question. Is my body preparing for digestion, or is it preparing for self-defense? Because taking that moment to calm down isn't just some nice idea for your mind. It is absolutely essential for the health of your body.